All right, here with reaction, Fox News contributor Dan Bongino. Dan, let me run this tape, and again, I want to re-rack it from the time the audio starts here, and then I'm going to show you a few still pictures. You were in law enforcement, you were with the NYPD, you were with the Secret Service. I want to get your professional opinion. We can roll the tape. We don't have it, apparently. No. Guys, do we have the tape in there anywhere? All right, talk about what you've seen earlier.
Yeah, I've seen the tape. I was actually in a very similar foot pursuit. I see it playing right now. I was in a very similar foot pursuit during my time in the 7-5 precinct in East New York. Ran down a dark alley, maybe it was 1 o'clock midnight. I don't remember the exact time. But you have to, looking at this through the, is this a justifiable shooting legally or not? I'm not talking about the morals or ethics of it. People are going to have to draw their own opinions on that. I'm talking about strictly, is it justifiable or not from a legal lens? You have to get in the law enforcement officer's head somehow. How would you do it? Well, you'd talk to him, number one, and see what he was thinking, but you have to look at the other variables, Sean. Late at night, reports of local gunfire through a gunfire detector. You get in a foot pursuit. Subject flees right away, doesn't stop, right? Not necessarily a reason to engage in deadly force, but fleeing is one of those variables. You see, that looks like the video from what I'm seeing on the screen. It's about 10 feet away, I would guess. I would think the officer at this point has probably seen the firearm. Now, if you've ever gone through any type of law enforcement training, even a Citizens Police Academy, and you've gone through what we used to call the FATS machine, firearms training simulator, whenever there's a gun at a scene, which was brought to the scene by apparently this young man, from what we can see in the video, your eyes automatically, Sean, gravitate to the firearm. Every time. If you've ever taken any training, you'd know that. For obvious reasons. It's the imminent threat, what's in your hand, the firearm. Now, showing the stills of this, when you see him turn around and now the gun is out of his hands, yeah, I get it. Those are pretty damning in stills. But you have to remember, when you put all these factors together and the fact that his heart rate's elevated by being in a foot pursuit where he's breathing heavy and screaming orders, he may have legitimately thought that the subject was turning on him to fire at him. I don't know that. We're going to have to hear what he says. There's obviously going to be some kind of proceeding where the facts will come out. But you have to just conclude, you have to get in his head and determine, did he believe he was under threat of serious physical injury or death at the time he deployed his firearm?
Okay, let me play it with the audio through the end, start to finish, and we'll go through this again slowly.
Please stop! Stop right now! Hey, show me your f***ing head! Stop it! Stop it!
Then the police.
Look at me. You alright? Where you shot, man? Where you shot? Stay with me. Stay with me.
All right, Tempo, we'll get an ambulance rolling.
Somebody bring the medical kit now.
Okay, can someone...
Stay with me. Hey, stay with me.
Hey, stay awake. Stay awake,
Put
man.
the chest pressure on.
I'm
going to start CPR. I'm not feeling a heartbeat.
Go ahead. I'm trying as fast as I can.
I got to get this chest seal in first.
Go as fast as I can. Try to get this chest seal open. Stay awake, bud. Come on, bud. Stay awake.
All right. Now I want to show the three pictures, the still pictures,
Right.
if we could put them up. And you could see very clearly in these still pictures. You could see, number one, right where this young man was, is where it looks like, just prior to the police, that's what he's tossed. Now look at the picture. This is the location. Looks like he flicks it just behind that wall and then turns around with it. Now, the police knew shots had been fired. Now, from that angle, I can see the gun. You see it as well, do you not?
I do, and here's the problem. If you notice in that still, his body's bladed off. The firearm's clearly in the right arm. It's bladed off so you can fully see his left arm and hand. As a cop, Sean, I don't need to see your arm. I need to see your hand. Elbows don't shoot, fingers do. I need to see your hand. You can see his left hand. But what's the problem with the way he's...
That it seems like and again, we need a full investigation, but we're trying to figure this out. Seems like it went like this. It got ditched, and up come the hands, and that's when the fire came out. Now the question I want to know is, did the cops see the gun? It would appear that he probably did.
But that's what I'm trying to explain. Listen, I'm not jumping to the defense of anyone. I'm simply suggesting here that the way the subject's bladed off in the picture on the screen now, look where his head, forget his arm, it's where his hand is. Again, elbows don't shoot, hands do. The way his body's bladed off, as he turns around to show his hands, it appears in the still later, his hand is in fact empty. There's absolutely no way for the police officer to know if the subject is now surrendering or the subject is going to fire on him. I'm not justifying anything. We'll have a court case on this. I'm simply suggesting that there were a whole bunch of mistakes here made. That blading off your body that way, where you're appearing to hide something and then turning around so he can't see the hand.
When you say mistakes made, mistakes made by who, though?
By the subject here. At some point, if you have a firearm in your hand, you either drop to your knees, you drop it right away. You don't make any furtive movements towards a police officer with a gun in your hand after you've been through a foot pursuit and reports of gunshots late at night at 2 in the morning in the middle of a dark alley. I mean, look at this picture right here, right here. You see how dark that is?
Yep.
Are you legitimately telling me with your heart rate at 180 after a foot pursuit and shots fired that you with a straight face know that this subject's not trying to shoot you right now? If you're willing to go on the record with that, more power to you, because I'm not sure this officer knew that.
All right, Dan Bongino.